Hey traders, can you imagine placing a fire and forget order once a week that would trigger you both in and out of a trade and protect your capital, plus allow you to take profits and have the ability to let your winners run all from one order? Wouldn't that be great? I know if you're a chart watcher, sometimes you wish you could just get me away so I don't have to watch this chart during the day. Or maybe you're working for a living. So this gives you the opportunity to do that. Imagine placing one single order that includes both an entry price, a stop loss, profit targets, plus a trigger that lets our profits run. So, hey, in today's video, let's take a look at how Autopilot Trading's fire and forget weekly orders using the ThinkorSwim conditional orders can put your trading on autopilot. Let's get into the session right now. Okay, traders, every week the Autopilot Trading Service sends out our PreFlight checklist where we've covered 5 stocks that we're looking to get into for the week and also ETFs. I won't get into the nuts and bolts of how that works, but in each one of those, I have a flight strip that shows how I want to set my trade up. I provide an entry point or price. In this case, I'm looking at trading Palo Alto Networks. I want to enter it at 235. I provide my stop loss here at 226.84. And then my 2 profit targets, one profit target 1 at 10%, profit target 2 at 20%. And I have coached my members how to place the conditional orders. Now we've got a little bit extra twist, so stick around and I'll show you that last twist that will let your winners run. And so let's continue on. So with this, I have the setup where I can basically do my trade. And so from the flight strip, what I've identified is I want to buy this about 235, which is there. Based on technical analysis, I'll have a stop loss down at 226, down in this area here, dropping below these support areas. And then I have 2 profit targets, one at 10%, which is up at 258, which is right back about right there, and the other one up at 282, which is just slightly above there. And so I've identified all my targets. I've identified my protection. Now the process is, how do I put in the order? That comes next. Let's go ahead and start dividing this up, and I'll show you the rest of the story. One of the tools we have for the Autopilot Trading members is this position sizing tool that basically tells me, based on how much capital I have to trade for a particular position, how to divide it up. In this particular case, I want to buy Palo Alto Networks. There's my number of shares at 235. My stop loss we pulled off of the flight strip, 226.84. Then my profit target number 1, profit target number 2. This also divides up for me and tells me exactly what the split is. When I get to profit target number 1, I'm going to sell 30%. Profit target number 2, I'm going to sell 50%. And then I'm going to hold on to 20% of the shares and let those winners run. But I have to have the capability of doing that. That's where the conditional orders come into play. Okay, from the position sizing calculation, I can go over and jump in and start building my order. And again, this is the way I do it for the Autopilot Trading Service. And I think you'll like it when you see how it goes together. So first I want to pick up to buy order, and I convert something down here, the advanced order process, and I'm going to switch this to a first triggers 3 OCOs. Now I pull up my order sheet here, and there's my rules. I'm going to buy 305 shares. And you would think, well, he's going to put in a limit, or he's going to buy it at a particular level, since the price of Palo Alto Networks is above my entry price. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to place out a market order. I'm going to put it good till cancel. I like to put in when I want that to cancel. In other words, if it does not fill my position, I want to close this trade down because I don't want it floating around there, helter skelter. And then I put in my condition, as you say, no limit order up here, but I utilize down here in my condition, Palo Alto Networks, dropping at or below, what was my number? $235. That in itself now provides $235. That in itself now provides us with a limit to this order. I save that. Now, I want to basically add in the opposite sides of this so that we can do it all at one time. So I'm going to create an opposite order. On that opposite order, what I want to do is I'm going to take out my first profit target, and that's on 92 shares. And as I work my way down, what I want to do is I want to take off my cancellation notice, because if the order to buy is filled, I want this order to stay in place until going forward. The second thing I want to do is I want to make this my profit target number 1, which profit target number 1 will be $258.50. Right below that, I can put in my stop loss. Isn't that cool? Which is 226.84. I save that and I duplicate that. Right click, duplicate. Now I'm going to put in an order that you may go, Dennis, that doesn't make sense. That's okay, it will as we get closer to the end. I'm going to convert this order here, and I'm going to basically just convert it to what I call a trailing stop. And on the trailing stop portion, I'm going to go ahead and leave this in. Well, I'm going to take out the stop loss. And my trailing stop is going to be a percentage of the mark. And how much of a percentage of it? I use a trailing stop when I hit my first 10% profit target of 7.5%. So that lays it, and this is an automatic trailing stop. In other words, what it means is that if my trailing stop is triggered, it will automatically trail at 7.5% behind the price action as the price action goes up. The price action starts to go down, that 7.5% stays wherever the highest point was. And so that's what gives us the protection. I want to save that. So that provides me my first order. I have to do a couple more here. I want to duplicate my first buy order or sell order, and I'll duplicate my second sell order. Now on the next sell order, what this is it is for 152 shares. Everything else looks the same. The only thing I have to modify on this is make that 20%, which in this case would be $282 and no cents. My stop loss remains the same. Save that. And then go to my trailing stop piece. Now on this particular trailing stop, I leave it the same. The only thing I have to modify is the 152 shares. Correction, 152 shares. Now, let me walk you through what just happened. If price action, if I get filled on the buy and I get filled at 10%, this order down here will also fire off the trailing stop. And so now I'll be trailing a trailing stop of 7.5% on those 152 shares. And the last part is just to lay in the last trade. And we'll go ahead and put that in there. And one of the reasons I have to put in both of them is because I have to do the OCO. I've got to balance two orders against each other, or these additional orders. So on the prices, I don't have to change anything here except remove the profit target. This is my let the winners run portion of the trade. 61 shares. So that's my stop loss. However, let's also take care of the, there we go. The only thing I have to do on this one is just change the number of shares, 61. And let me walk you back through it. If price action hits 258.50, it automatically puts in a 7.5% automatic trailing stop. Save that. And I confirm. And I like to go back and just take a look at this one time and blow this up. I like to go back and I like to read through this. Okay, 350 shares at or below 235. It will self-cancel at 1600 on the 28th. And I use 1600. That's Hawaii time, so I know it's after the market closes. So you can adjust that to wherever you live after the market is closed on Friday. And then with this trade, it is ready to go now. And I can basically just send. I received no bells or whistles telling me that it was an incorrect order. So that should be good to go. Okay, traders, you are now ready to, in one order, let you basically provide your entry point, your exit points, both a stop loss and profits, and also let your winners run. If you enjoyed this video, well, I've got something for you. Take a look up in that corner and you'll see another video playlist that will provide additional trading tips so I can share some of my 30 years of trading experience with you, and also leave a comment and share this video with somebody that uses a ThinkorSwim platform. And let me know if you'd like to see additional videos like this. I'd love to provide them. I've got some great ideas on how to help you become a better trader. And oh, I don't want to forget this last piece. If you're interested in becoming a autopilot trader, you can save 15% off of our subscription price all the way through to the July 31st. And use special code. I will put the link in the pinned comment in the comment section of how you can find where to go to get registered. Spec 15 will be, that's your discount code, and that'll be good through July 31st, Hawaii time. But it will, if you choose not to accept this, this assignment, it will self-destruct at that time. So aloha, God bless everybody. Again, hang in there and trade tough and get yourself on autopilot. Aloha.